Hi everyone, Michael from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au. So today we have an incredibly special guest. This is Ethan. Ethan runs his own YouTube channel called
Investing for Kids.
Investing for Kids. And Ethan's been a customer of ours for a little while. You've been buying on and off. And,
bits in here.
Yeah.
Not too much.
And he started his own YouTube channel, which all of us are subscribers to, and I'd strongly encourage you to, because it gives you a different perspective, particularly us grey-haired mob. We have one view on it. It's really refreshing to get a younger person's view on investing and different types of investing, because you don't just look at precious metals investing, do you?
All of them, really.
Yeah. So it's all sorts of things like that, so it's great to get that kind of perspective from his view. So, Ethan, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, well, so my sort of interest in investing has started from a couple of years ago, really, where my parents had this sort of system set up in our family where we'd earn some pocket money from doing chores, and when we turned 12 years old, they'd sit down with us and they'd say, you know what, we're going to invest in the stock market. Because they wanted to nurture us into the investing world at a young age, because so many people are struggling and only learning these skills later in life. And so when I turned 12 years old, I sat down with Dad, invested in S&P 500,
Yep.
Which is an index fund for those people who do not know. And so that grew over a year or two, and then this year I sold them because, you know, not doing too well. And that gave me more time to think about other types of investing. And so I started talking with Dad, and he told me that people invest in gold. And I was like, gold? Because I'd never heard of anything like that. I thought it was all on a computer screen, numbers and letters all on the, computer screen. And so I sat down after talking with him and just did hours of research about gold and silver. And I think the first thing I ever saw, online was the Valcambi Combi Val.
Ah, yes.
And it was this 100-gram gold thing, and I was shocked by the price because I'd never expected these things to cost so much. Like, to me, they were just bits of metal. But after a while, I'd sort of gathered a, respect for them.
Okay, really sorry about that. We just had a customer come through the door, and we're actually filming this in the showroom area, so my apologies. It may happen once or twice, but we'll try and keep it to a minimum where we can. So Ethan's just told us all about how we got into it.
Yeah.
So, do you have a favourite yet? Like gold, silver, platinum, palladium, rhodium?
I feel at the moment it's probably silver, just because like where I am in my financial life, I guess, it's more affordable for me to be stacking silver a bit, whereas I have 1/20th of an ounce of gold, so just a little bit of gold at the moment. It will grow, but I think silver is my favourite at the moment.
Okay. Is there a particular type of silver that you prefer?
As in pure?
Perth Mint or American silver or?
It really depends. I do have one favourite bullion coin, and that would have to be the silver maple leaf.
The Canadians.
Yeah.
They do a good job.
So that's my favourite, but I think probably my favourite overall is Perth Mint, because I've got more of them.
Yeah. They produce a very good quality product.
Yeah.
And it's a good investment, that one. Alright, so that's how you got involved in it. And your favourite, that type of thing. Where do you see yourself heading with your investing over the next few years?
That's a good question, yeah. So in a matter of time, I will be working, so that way I'll have a bit more of an income coming in.
I've got to stop you there. So the actual first time we sort of really communicated, a lot of you will remember we advertised for a position vacant here. It was about a month ago, wasn't it?
It was.
I have to apologise, I haven't responded to everyone yet. But Ethan was one of our very, very enthusiastic applicants, even to a point where he went through and he researched all the government legislation about employing people under the age of, our minimum age for employment normally is 14 3/4. So Ethan went out and did all the research of how I could employ him even though he was under the age of 14 3/4. And if it wasn't for a couple of trip hazards that are out there for employers, we absolutely, with his enthusiasm and his level of research, we would have taken him on in a heartbeat. But unfortunately, there's a few trip hazards out there for a business like ours with kids under the age of kind of that 14 3/4, 15. So I chickened out. Anyway, continue on. You were saying.
Yeah. So I do see myself investing in all sorts of things, really. So I will be getting back into like the stock exchange and all that stuff because I know that it yields quite good returns. When I was in S&P, I was getting 13.5% returns a year. which is pretty good. Cool.
It is, but I think you also need to recognise that we've just been through a bit of a growth spurt, a bit of a purple patch. That you know, the shares have done quite well. It will be interesting to see how well the shares do over the next, let's say, 2 years in the performance. Having said that, I've been completely wrong because I didn't expect this to bounce back quite as quickly as we did this time round.
I'm just holding off getting back in at the moment because everything's a bit uncertain. So I just want to be sure. I don't want to lose heaps of money. Obviously, you're going to lose some. Obviously, one of my biggest goals is to buy my first piece of real estate. Obviously, that is a bit of a time down the track. You know, it'll be a while. But I even tried micro investing in real estate, which is getting small shares in a property. I'm not sure how trustworthy going through smaller businesses to do that will be, but it's a matter of, you know, less than $100, just trying it out. And I also was partially doing that because I wanted to make investing a really accessible thing for kids my age. And I thought that it would be a good idea to go and find investments that were, you know, using small amounts of money so that kids around my age would be able to invest as well. So, you know, just go around, mow a few lawns, earn $50 and you can buy a share in a property. So I thought that was a really good idea. So I tried a bit of that. Obviously I have some precious metals in this box here, but it's not heaps, and I've sort of reconsidered my perspective on precious metals several times. You know, when I started out I was thinking of it as an investment, and to me it's more a preservation of wealth now. So my perspective is ever changing. I have seen, if you look back, as you guys just made a video about the comparison of gold prices over the last
49 years,
and gold was, what, $40 an ounce back then?
It was.
And it's near 2,600 today, which is massive growth. So I think gold does have potential as an investment, whereas silver's probably a better way to preserve the wealth because it's just a smaller price. So you get typically smaller...
Yeah, you'll find, or I found, I should say, silver to be far more volatile than gold is. But the advantage of gold is, at the moment, under the current environment we're in, is when people panic, they run to gold. They don't run to silver. So, you know, if you're looking for that preservation, that insurance policy, gold, in my opinion, gold's kind of the way I lean. If you want a bit of a spice in your insurance policy, that's where you start looking at your silvers or your platinums even. Because they add a bit of burn to it, potentially.
Part of the reason I'm in silver for the first place is because of that $50 potential. You know, we've seen it go that high, and if there's a chance of that happening again, I want to be in it.
I remember it. All too well.
And if you look at the gold price over the last 50 years, you see it goes up, silver's more bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
Yeah, very much so.
But there is still growth in silver, like.
Oh, absolutely. I certainly wasn't saying it's not.
This thing here is labelled as $1 worth of silver. And this was in 1963, and this was just under a troy ounce of silver. So the price of silver then was $1.92 US. And so this was basically guaranteeing that you could turn this in for $1 between the 5-year mark that this is set for. And that proves that that was just over 50 years ago, and it was worth almost $2 US an ounce, which is crazy. That it could be worth that little and then growing so much.
So will it keep growing like that?
I honestly don't know. Obviously, I'm a kid, so I'm still learning about everything. But I think that there is, potential for it to grow up.
We're going to hold it there and come back in a minute. And we're back again. Sorry about that. Just a quick intermission there. So you were telling us about where you're taking this stacking and what your next steps are over the next few years.
Very, very true. So I have had a very selective decision in the way that I invest in or buy and stack gold and silver. I can bring out a few things in a sec. But I've chosen to buy in smaller amounts at a time just because I'm getting a taste for it. You know, I've just started out and I don't have a massive capital, don't have heaps of money. So I wanted to be trying out what it was like, what I liked about it, and what prices I was paying, all that sort of stuff. So as a lot of people might have done and gone and bought a 10-ounce bar, I'd chosen to go for smaller amounts, 1 ounce, different coins, so I can pull out a few.
Yeah, let's get some of the stack out.
So the first big purchase I made for myself in silver was 5
my favourite year's design
2020 Perth Mint Kookaburras. And so that was me deciding, I do want to get into silver a bit. this is, you know, the standpoint where I'm going to get into it. Because for me, 5 ounces was significant.
Oh, yeah.
Given that I barely bought much. So the very first bits that I ever got in my silver stacking was an American Silver Eagle and a 1 ounce buffalo
One
round.
of the stack of buffalo rounds. I've got a bit of a soft spot for them.
And so the reason that I got the stack round was because they were going at a pretty good price. Obviously, I did want to make a good return off it. And the reason I got the Eagle was, I've got more silver here to bring out. Because when I initially started, you know, looking into silver, there were 3 coins that I really, really wanted to get. And this was more of a collector's aspect within me. But that was the Silver Eagle, the Maple Leaf, and the Cougarand. So now I have them all, which is very, you know, exciting for me.
It is.
But that was part of why I did get the American Silver Eagle. And also, it was what was in stock in the 1 ounce area when I first decided to buy some.
Yep.
But yeah, that was sort of the reasoning behind it all. So that was the first big one. Obviously, I couldn't really find 5 ounce bars. And I knew that the Cooks would get a bit of collector's premium because they are, you know, each year they change the design. So this would increase in value. And it was also 30-year anniversary one. So that will also get a bit for it. And then the rest was a bit of collecting, a bit of investing, a bit of preserving, everything like that. So that was my reasoning behind getting, you know, 10 1 ounce coins rather than a 10 ounce bar.
Yep.
I guess I also do have a bit of collector in me. You know, I think I'm being transferred a bit into the newest make area.
Yeah, it's funny. It cracks me up in here where people walk in and they say, I'm a stacker, I just want, you know, the best bang for my buck, the most money. I go, oh, I really like that kookaburra. And next thing you know, they're buying coins and all sorts of things. So it's funny how we all adapt to that type of stuff.
I did get in at a very good time for myself, actually. I chose to buy 9 of the 10 ounces when spot was near $22 an ounce.
Okay.
And then...
That's Australian dollars, guys, before you jump on us.
And merely 2 weeks after I bought some of them, spot went up to like 27 Australian dollars.
Yeah, we did. We had that spike.
So it was a really good time for me to get in. The one that I bought over that was the Kruger round. But still, it was pretty good price over spot from you guys. But yeah, that's my silver.
You do have a bit of variety in here. We should pull some of this
I do
out.
have a big variety.
You got to pull this one out first.
This is the golden inspiration.
So I don't know if you've seen these before. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, so this is the Valcambi Combi Bar, and these are essentially 100 1-gram bars. So I think they're more commonly known for their, you know, use in gold, because if you want to liquidize a little bit of it, you just break off some bars, as it shows you there. But with silver, you know, I think you get massive premiums on these ones.
Yeah, this is the problem with them in silver, is the premium is so big. In gold, obviously, it's, you know, it's a larger base product, so you're spreading that premium over a larger amount.
If they were paying the same premium in silver to gold, there'd be a lot for the gold.
Yeah. But you're right, they're great, and they have that advantage where I just need to sell a couple of grams. You just snap them off. Or we've got another one, because we sold these in gold a little while ago. We did a special on them. And we had people buying them for birthday presents, so they'd snap off a gram and give it to their kids or their grandkids or whatever type of thing. So they're really good for that sort of stuff when you can get hold of them. But in Australia, they can be difficult to source. But yeah, I love that you've got one of these. These are fantastic.
Yeah, so a few of these were from Intrinsic Tender. So they sent me a few things in a box. If you want to see the whole thing, go to my channel, check out the series. But there's a lot of really cool things that they sent through. There's a couple of collector sort of things here as well.
Yeah.
That are silver. So this is a, what was it, old dollar?
Oh, that's the old gold. I was going to call it a golden eagle then. Yeah, it's a US eagle.
Yeah, from
dollar.
What, 1881. So some of the things that really astound me are the age on some of these coins. And it's quite remarkable how old some of these can be. And that comes through in this next one here, which is, brace yourselves, 1819. And it's a very old version of the Silver Britannia. So you can see there, it's quite, you know, damaged. Not damaged.
It's not damaged, it's just well worn. These were designed, they were more designed like our, you know, 50-cent coin or dollar coin sort of thing, where they're meant to be in production. So they do wear down after a while, but it adds to the character. Ethan and I had some sovereigns out before, and we were looking at the gold sovereigns, and just the history behind them is just amazing. You know, you're holding something that in Australia, it's been around since before our constitution, and you know, seeing our country go through world wars, and
older than all the family I know in my life.
yeah, like it's just it's amazing that you can hold that history in the palm of your hand.
It's
so
incredible.
yeah. So what else have we got buried in here?
A couple more smaller bits of silver as well. This was also from Intrinsic Tenders. So these are 2 half-ounce pieces. I really do like these. So this is the Athena Owl Stacker, which is half ounce, and this is the Fiji, I think you say taku?
The taku.
Yeah.
The turtle.
The turtle there. I think this is from AppMax actually.
Yeah, it was made by the, it's sold by the New Zealand Mint. Yeah, they were a very popular series. They don't seem to be as many of them kicking around anymore, but they were really popular for
They
quite a
do
while.
get a bit of premium on them because they are half ounce.
They do.
Bullion sort of things. What else? These are 2 more of my pieces, just some 1 ounce bars. These ones I took out of the wrapper just because
I was going to say, don't we sell those in wrappers?
Yeah. I took them out just because I wanted some that I could hold.
Yeah.
And I knew some of the other things that I had were more preserved for the collector's value on them. But these are just 2 1 ounce bars. You can get some from the Bullion Now website. Make sure to pick those up.
They're produced locally by CPG, and they're a great product.
Yeah, the reason I really like them is even for a 1 ounce, they have the serial number on them, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
So all these different things appeal to me. What else? 2 bits of US constitutional silver. So there's I think they're both $half, yeah. So there's a Eagle $half and a Roosevelt $half. So those 2 are cool.
Very good. We might as well do the last few things in there, mate.
Last few things. This is a...
We better hold it there. We'll come back to the last few things in a moment. Alrighty, so continuing on, we just had these 3 things to go. So,
yeah,
why don't you talk us through it, mate?
So this was another one sent to me by Intrinsic Tenders, and this was from the 7th Commonwealth Games. It was from Brisbane in 1982, and it's a bit of a commemorative thing. The interesting thing about this is that they were, sold for $10. I think you were telling me before you were able to get them for $8.
Yeah, we were able to buy them at auctions and things like that because silver had dropped in price. So we used to buy them for their silver content, which was about $8.50 each, and then we'd march them down to the bank and we'd deposit them to get to $10.
Yeah.
We didn't have to sell them or anything. You just traded them straight back in.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is the silver value of this nowadays is worth almost $20. Yeah, what's the weight? 20 grams and it's sterling. So yeah.
So they're good actually. I like the $10 notes, $10 coins, because the downside of these things is if silver goes to, let's say silver goes to 0, it's all of a sudden worthless. You've still got a stop loss on this. You can still take it into a bank and it is still worth $10 Australian no matter what. So, and it's the same. I don't know if you've seen them yet. But you can get $200 gold coins in Australia. It's the same deal there. If gold ever went to 0 for any reason, they've still got. It's a little bit silly now with gold at the price it is, but you could always present that at a bank and get $200
like
cash
this
back.
thing as well.
Yeah, along those sort of lines.
Guaranteed sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much left here. And a couple of things here. These were.
This one I like. Keep going.
Yeah. So these silver bars were.
We will get there. Back in a minute. Alrighty, we're racing for the last 2 things.
Here we go. Alright, so these were all sent to me. So the silver bars, which is currently hiding the last bit here, were just a little bit of a taster so I could see what they're like in the small bits, also from Intrinsic Tenders. And a member of the Silver Stackers round sent the equivalent in the gold version.
Yeah, that's 66 rounds, wasn't it? Yeah. So he's a regular around here. He's top bloke. I was really stoked when I saw that come through. So yeah, big shout out to you, mate. Thanks for encouraging our younger members of our community. It's really good to see.
It really helps.
Yeah.
And the
last one?
final bit is my other bit of gold, which is a 1/20th ounce Lunar Series from 2004, and it's a 9999 monkey.
The monkey, yeah.
Which is my favourite animal, coincidentally, so that's the one that I chose to get.
That's fantastic. So. Now, something we do with all of our people we interview, except for Ruben, I think, didn't do this for you, is that we give you something as a thank you. And I had it in my pocket, and I don't any longer. So we will get that and we'll show it later. But we give each of our attendees a 1 ounce silver coin. So we'll have a look at that and we'll throw that out later. I thought I had it in my pocket, but I think I showed it to the last people coming through when we were testing. I used it as a test object. So that's all good. Alrighty, so this is your stack.
Yeah.
And this is you in the past. What sort of things have you used to educate yourself? Is there something that, you know, like if I wanted to buy something for one of my kids, or you know, someone watching says, I really want, you know, to help my kids start learning these sorts of things. What are some of the resources, books, websites, that sort of thing that you've used to educate yourself?
That's a very good question. It's quite important actually. So I did make a video about this a couple of days ago. I think I brought it with me. But it's the series Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And so there's maybe 4 of these in the series. And I cannot recommend how good of a book this is for me. It is a bit of a thick, heavy read for a kid my age. But I got through it and it helped me so much. It completely changed my perspective on investing altogether. So it's talking about, you know, not working for money, getting money to work for you, like passive income, that sort of stuff. So very helpful book, I'd recommend that. This is just a guide to Australian coins and banknotes that if you're getting some of those, that'll be helpful for. YouTube is an incredibly good platform for finding out about all sorts of different things. There are so many videos out to every single thing that you will search, and that was my aid to investing knowledge. So I was searching up best types of silver to buy, best types of gold to buy. There are lots of different channels. The one in particular I'll give a shout out to, I guess, is Silver Dragons. And they were a channel that I was watching pretty regularly, doing unboxings, talking about different investing concepts, stacking concepts. So that's a really helpful platform online. What else is there? Again, there's so much that I've learnt and read about. There's lots of good articles on the web talking about the growth of different precious metals. If you have a look at some different videos on different platforms, especially YouTube, about investing in the stock market, there's obviously heaps and heaps and heaps of them because it's a very common ground. You know, a lot of people know investing as the stock market, but when it comes to precious metals, there's a lot less out there for that. So that was partly why, when I started making my YouTube channel, I did focus in on precious metals quite a bit for a while. So it would have been 3 weeks that I was making 3 videos a week about precious metals and then maybe 1 about something else. Just because as someone getting into it, I'd realised that there wasn't as much information about it out there on YouTube. And so part of my goal was to help people with that. So I've, you know, made things about unboxing different things and why I chose to get them, you know, because people want to know why you chose those specific things. Because coming into this, I had no idea what was better to get, you know, a Krugerrand or a Silver Eagle. I didn't know the difference. I just thought of them as metal.
Yeah.
But as you know, learn more, you know more about why each thing is more preferable to each other. So I guess that's all I have to recommend.
Yeah, good. I'm actually going to make a suggestion, and I'd suggest you read another book. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. It's by George S. Clason.
Yeah.
You've read it, have you?
Yes.
It's a brilliant book. I love that one as well. So encourage anyone to get hold of a copy of that. I usually have a copy kicking around here, but I don't at the moment.
There's one that I've been heavily recommended, and that's Think and Grow Rich.
That's a bit of a grind, that one. It's a good book, but it's a bit of a grind through. But,
yeah.
Yeah, if you can grind your way through it, I encourage you to read that one.
Keep an eye out for that. So, yeah.
Alright, so when you're not doing YouTube and collecting your stack and learning about investing, what do you do for fun?
Oh, it's lots of things. Recently I did do my ACL in my knee, but...
I'm assuming that wasn't for fun.
No, that was not for fun. But usually I would be playing sports like hockey and tennis. Those are my fun bits. I play the piano.
Oh, very cool.
So a bit of a range there. You know, lots of different things. I like creating, making stuff.
You're still in school, I'm assuming?
Yes, still in school.
Enjoying school?
It's good. It's good. It's really good. And after being at home for a while, it was good to go back see all my friends.
Yep.
So in primary school, it was more of a leisure sort of thing. School, I guess, and also outside school. High school's been more working,
I guess. Intense.
But it's still good. It's given me a bit more maturity, so that's why I'm doing more investing stuff. But I've really found a spot in teaching people stuff, so that's why I do my YouTube channel.
Excellent. Now, the name of your YouTube channel again?
Investing for Kids. Investing
for Kids. So make your way over there when you finish this video. Subscribe to Ethan's channel. He gives some really good information and he brings it from a slightly different angle to what us crusty old people do. So it's really refreshing and it's really good to see. So I encourage you to go out there and view his channel. And again, leave a comment for him and encourage him along, because this is what we need to encourage into the future. So it's been an honour to meet you and to talk to you, mate.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll have you around again sometime and we'll do this all over again.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right. That's all for now. We'll talk again soon. See you later.